Hey, what's up, guys? All right, this is like a really crazy, weird story. I almost didn't even know how to title this because I don't know if this guy's taking advantage of the Native American tribes in Oklahoma or if the Native American tribes are taking advantage of this guy's case to get their land back, basically. But either way, this has to be one of the most creative cases that I've heard about going to the Supreme Court, and that just tells you I probably haven't seen too many creative Supreme Court cases in my lifetime. But basically, this guy his name is Patrick Murphy, and he was sentenced to death way back in 1999 for this horrific crime. It was a 1999 roadside mutilation slash slaying of his girlfriend's former lover. And he asked the Supreme Court to throw out his murder case completely, to throw out his conviction at least, because the crime occurred in a location called Henrietta that should be viewed as reservation land outside of the reach of Oklahoma state criminal law. You heard that right. And so the Supreme Court justices actually listened to an hour of arguments in Oklahoma's appeal of a lower court that sided with Murphy, who is apparently a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, which is a Native American tribe based in the state. So I wasn't aware that he was actually a part of this tribe as well. But I guess it would make sense now if you feel like, hey, I killed this person, I lured them probably into our tribal land, and then I slew him with whatever he slew him with. I'm not going to be racist in any way. I was going to say something, and then I just remembered that a guy already died at the hands of bows and arrows earlier this month. But anyway, I don't know how the killing happened, but let me see what it says. Mutilation slaying. That sounds, you know what, I'm going to leave that part alone. So yeah, the state and President Donald Trump's administration both argued that the Creek Nation's formal reservation was completely eliminated, deleted by Congress around the time Oklahoma achieved statehood, which was in 1907. Murphy's lawyers, however, disagree. The justices weighed a complex historical record that started with the forced relocation of Native Americans. Oh, I'm glad they actually did some history and talked about the Trail of Tears in this court case, because not many people know about it or choose to acknowledge it. So maybe, if anything, this should be like we forced you guys here, you can have a couple mulligan murders. Maybe. If the justices side with Murphy, he would be given a new trial. He could be given a new trial in a federal court without facing the death penalty at all. His arguments would mean that the Creek Nation's jurisdiction covers 3 million acres of U.S. land in eastern Oklahoma, including the entire city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I am pretty sure that the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma do not want to see that happen. The justices focused their concerns on the practical impact of a ruling that would give the Creek Nation considerably more power than it already wields. Now, the tribe itself argued that its reservation was never actually terminated, noting that it has a police force, it operates hospitals, and it paves roads. But several justices also pointed out that the tribal government only has limited authority in the past century and has not aggressively pressed this argument that they should have full control over these lands, as Murphy's lawyers now are. You had Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Hey, there goes beer drinking Brett. He said the historical practice for a century has been against you. He says stability is a critical value. What the hell does Brett Kavanaugh know about stability? His whole... Never mind. Stability is a critical value in judicial decision making. And we would be departing from that and creating a great deal of turmoil, Kavanaugh said. Samuel Alito added, how can it be that none of this was recognized by anybody or asserted by the Creek Nation, as far as I'm aware, for 100 years? Why now? Like, why do they care about this guy that much? I don't think it's that they care about this guy. I think that they're actually, like, I don't understand. Like, why are they actually trying to press? Are they trying to really save this guy, or are they really just trying to say that these are our lands? And by doing this, 100 years later, they can still lay claim, so that 200 years later they can say, look, here are these court cases from 100 years ago where we have continued to try to press that this is our land, give us our freaking land back, give us all of the U.S. back, and get the hell off of our property. Because that's really what the Native Americans should be doing, especially in this time where you have all of these redneck Americans that are saying, oh, the U.S. is mine, and, you know, I don't care if they gas all these Mexicans and these Central Americans trying to come into my country. It was never your country to begin with. Okay, but anyway, so the state appealed after the Denver-based 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled for Murphy last year. Conservative Justice Neil Gorsuch, formerly a judge on the 10th Circuit, surprise, surprise, did not participate in the case. So I guess he recused himself. So this could actually lead to a 4-4 split ruling, because you did have the more liberal justices Elena Kagan and Sona Sotomayor saying, basically backing the tribe a bit. The tribe, they don't say exactly what they said, but basically backing the tribe. Whereas other liberals like Stephen Bayer and RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, seem to share some of their conservative colleagues' concerns. I would love to know what everyone else thinks about this. Should the tribe, I believe that the tribe should be given all of the land in the U.S. back, and that we should just expunge all of these court cases, because the U.S. is pretty much operating on stolen land in the first place. But that's not sustainable, right? According to Brett Kavanaugh. So what do you think? What's the right way to go? Should this guy be sentenced to death because he killed somebody, or should his trial be thrown out and he be given a new trial without the murder whatever clause in it, because it happened on tribal land? I would love to know what you all think about this, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.